All right, as we go into some core work here, I want you to keep a neutral spine position. So not letting the back arch, you can always press the low back down to help. Hands can go to the mat or they can go out to a T to help you with your balance, either way. We're gonna start by taking the legs one at a time into tabletop. Again, make sure that back isn't arching. Starting with a single leg toe tap. Right toe taps down and back up. Left toe taps down and back up. As you go, nice and slow and controlled, you keep the same angle in the knee. You should feel those low abs. If the back starts to arch, limit your range of motion. You don't need to get all the way down to the mat. Perfect. Keep pulling belly button to spine. And then we pause with both legs in tabletop. Both toes are going to tap down to a challenge spot. Pull it back up to table. Bringing it down. Back to table. Nice and slow and controlled here. Not letting the back arch, feeling this in those low transverse abdominals. I've got the legs zipped together, engaging my core. Arms can always go out to a T. We have one more like this. And then feet come flat on the mat. Shake the knees side to side. Take an inhale and an exhale. We add on, you can always go back to that first option if you want. Left leg is gonna go down to the mat. Right leg goes up to 90. I'm gonna lower that right leg nice and long low. Pull it back up, single leg drop. Reaching, feeling that length. Pulling it back up, one more like this. I'm gonna pull it all the way up to 90, hold. Keeping that left hip nice and still. Big swooping circles, 3 in one direction. Keeping the hips still, pressing the low back down into the mat. Using your core to find the rotation here, single leg circle. And then holding at 90, we reverse those circles. Feel that stretch, that length of the leg. Also using the core to find the rotation here. Keep that hip nice and still, that left hip. One more in this direction. Pausing up at 90. I'm gonna reach behind that right thigh, a little flex and extend here from the knee, just getting a nice stretch. And then holding that leg up at 90, point and flex. Roll the ankle and reverse. We'll go other side, right leg nice and long, back down to the mat. Keep the right hip nice and still. Left leg comes up to 90, single leg drop. Lowering that left leg nice and long, pulling it back up to 90. Continue breathing here in a breath pattern that works for you. Trying to keep that leg straight, pushing into the back of the knee there. Let's do one more like this. Pausing up at 90, we go into those big swooping circles, keeping that right hip nice and still. 3 in each direction here. Pulling belly button to spine, feeling that length of the leg. Bringing it back up to 90 and we reverse. 3 here. Nice big swooping circles. Perfect. Pausing up at 90, reach behind the thigh. Little bend and extend to the knee to get a stretch here. And then reaching that leg up to 90, point and flex the toe. Roll the ankle in one direction. And then the other direction. Perfect. We're gonna go now knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Going into a pelvic rock. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, you just imprint, pressing that low back down, inhaling back to neutral. So barely anything's gonna move here. We're just finding that pelvic awareness, that pressing down of the low back to find that scoop, inhaling back to neutral. Tiny movement, nothing should move but the pelvis here. We're warming up to go into our bridging. During our bridging, if you have a grumpy back, low back issues, disc issues, hinge up and down into your bridge instead of rolling through the spine. Inhale, neutral. We're gonna exhale. Nice and slow, roll one bone at a time all the way up, lifting your hips, squeezing the glutes at the top of your bridge. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow, one bone at a time, all the way down. Continue here. If you're feeling those hamstrings too much, scooch the feet in closer to the body. You want to keep everything nice and parallel, and you're pressing into that big toe part of the foot, not rolling out to the pinky side. Goal here is to get those glutes engaged at the top. Strengthening the back body to work the front body, that core. Perfect. On this next one, we're gonna hold up in that bridge, holding up nice and strong. Squeeze the glutes. 1 inch up, 1 inch down, little hip dip. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Kneecaps shoot away. You're pressing into that big toe part of the foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press up, inhale, exhale, nice and slow. One bone at a time, all the way down. Good job. We're gonna go into a single leg bridge. You have 2 options. Right leg can be at tabletop or right leg can be at 90. You decide. Inhale, exhale. We're just gonna press up into our bridge. Inhale, exhale, press back down. If this is too much, you go back to both feet on the mat. Now we're strengthening that left hamstring, left glute. On this next one, we just hold up in that bridge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down, other side. Right foot down, left leg to tabletop or to 90. You decide. Inhale, exhale, hinge up. Find that glute, that right glute, right hamstring, hinge back down. Continuing here for a few, just with our single leg bridges. Again, you can always go both feet back on the mat. On this next one, we hold up in that bridge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge back down. Take both legs up to 90. Nice point and flex here. Get a nice stretch. Roll the ankles each direction. Perfect. We're going to go into classic core series here. So right knee into the chest, hands are staggered on the shin, left leg goes out to 45, chest lift is optional, and we switch. Switch. Single leg stretch, pulling that knee in as you press the leg away. If you're in that chest lift up off the shoulders, gaze at the thighs. You can always keep the head down. Looks good, guys. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Take an inhale and an exhale. Let's go. Double leg stretch. Both knees into the chest. Hands on the shins. Arms and legs shoot out in opposition, and then back into that ball. You either stay up at a chest lift the whole time, or your head stays down the whole time. As you go, don't let the back arch. Feeling that opposition, that reach, and that pull back in. Looks good, guys. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Take an inhale and an exhale. We go into scissors next. Right leg at 90, hands behind the thigh or the calf. Left leg at 45, both legs straight. Chest lift optional. Pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. Reaching the toes. Feeling that stretch here. Looks good. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in. Take an inhale and an exhale. We're going to go into bicycle next. One leg in tabletop, one at 90. And then we draw that bicycle shape like you're pedaling a bicycle. You're going to reach that straight leg long as you pull the opposite knee in. Chest lift is optional. You can always take hands behind the head into a chest lift to add on. We reverse those bicycles, pulling that knee in, pressing that leg away. Breathing in, breathing out. You guys got this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Take an inhale and an exhale. Last little set here, and then we'll move on. Hands are going to come behind the head, elbows wide. Legs come to tabletop. We go into crisscross. Right shoulder to left knee, right leg shoots out to 45, and we crisscross to switch. switch, getting those obliques now. Breathing in, breathing out. Stay up in a chest lift through the center. It's shoulder to knee, not elbow to knee. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Take an inhale and an exhale. Let the knees sway side to side. Catch your breath. Using your core to pull those knees through the center. Perfect. We go into roll up next. Legs go straight down to